Yeah, I've got the slides.
All right, everyone, we are live on Facebook and we are recording it for later. So thank you, everyone, for joining me today on our bi-weekly Strategic Education Partner Series. This week we have Darren with us from Edmonton Real Estate Signs. I apologize for the delay last week, but we're here this week. So Darren, thank you so much for joining us. Darren, like I said, is with Edmonton Real Estate Signs, and he is going to be talking to you today about the importance of signs. Whether you're a realtor or you are a business owner, having your business be seen by the mass public is incredibly important. So Darren's going to talk about the benefits of it for you and just how his business works so that you're able to best optimize yourself. Darren, it's off to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Alex. And thanks for everybody who's watching, whether it's live or later. Shall I share my screen now? I've got a presentation of it.
All you.
Okay. Thanks, Alex. Okay. So I'm going to share that screen there. Let's see if I'm on the right screen. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to go to the presentation first. I'm going to move that window. Okay, can you see this screen that has the Walterdale?
Yep, you're all good.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so my name's Darryn Semenek. I sometimes go by Edmonton Sign Guy, hashtag Edmonton Sign Guy. I've been in the sign industry for over 6 years. So real estate signs, however, I've been specializing in for the last 3 years under the Edmonton Real Estate Signs brand. And I started out because I had requests from realtors saying, we really need some options, having some trouble, getting what we need. Have been around real estate for most of my life, actually. I have a background in investment properties. I've had those for many years. My dad had a brokerage when I was a kid. So since about, 6 or 10 or somewhere in there, I was attending open houses and setting things up and answering phones and all that stuff. So I have a appreciation for realtors and their needs, and I was a little sad to find that when I got into the sign industry, there was a lot of people that don't really deal with realtors too much, and the ones that do, I felt did not service realtors as well as they could. So at this point in the presentation, I would normally ask for, in the chat, if you have question or comments about your current provider. I like to know what you like about them. I also like to know what you find lacking. And then I kind of tailor the presentation, but you can always email me or, check with Alex or whatever, and let us know what that might be. What I mostly find is that reliability is one of them. When you go to book a sign, do you have to send an email? Do you have to phone? Do you get confirmation that the sign is up? Do you get a picture? Often a lot of that is lacking. And what you usually like, if you've got a good sign provider, what I've heard is that it's seamless. There's no issues at all. At least as far as you're aware. And what I want to present today a little bit is just kind of broaden your view of what is available. Okay, so on my first slide, I have my core values, and this is important to me. That's why I want to bring it up front. Reliability is number one. Integrity, honesty, and quality. That's the 4 things that I think about every day when I deal with every client. That's always on my mind. And it's not about, making money necessarily. I mean, that's a good thing, but what I want my clients to come away with is that this is Edmonton Real Estate Signs. This is me. So when I started out, there was some non-negotiables. And if I was going to get into the real estate sign business, number one, signs had to go up straight and stay straight in the Edmonton weather and soils. And we do have a pretty severe extreme of different types of weather and different types of soil. And as you may have noticed in recent years, it seems windier and windier. We had a big windstorm a couple of weeks ago. I've got a picture of a sign from one of the other providers. You'll see what the difference is between ours and theirs. Number two, it must be eye appealing and give a feeling of quality. And that's oftentimes that's what a realtor wants, to differentiate themselves as well. Number three, it must be flexible and have the ability to add options to help distinguish your brand from others. You don't want the cookie cutter. You don't want the cheap looking stuff. I mean, some are okay with that, but I think most of my audience that's interested is going to be wanting to differentiate themselves. And number four, easy and reliable booking. I mean, I've seen examples of other ways to book signs, ups and downs, and I mean, they can work, but they can really go bad very easily as well. So I'll show you how we handle that. So what I'm going to go over today is I'm going to start out with the top 8 sign tips, just to give you some pointers on good things you can do and make sure your sign provider is doing for you. Second thing is going to be the sign hardware. I'll go over that a little bit. It'll be pretty brief. And then I want to show you a quick demo on how you book a sign with our exclusive software. Okay. So, top 8 tips. Number 1, what is the main purpose of a real estate sign? Is it to sell the property? You might think, well, yeah, of course it is. But really, especially these days with the internet, the MLS app or the realtor website, you can look up, if you're looking for a house, you can look up the properties out there. You don't need to drive around every neighborhood and find the signs for sale. Some areas it is more applicable. I mean, Glenora, for example, is a good one. You check out the neighborhood and see what you like there, or maybe more rural properties. But for the most part, your sign represents you as an agent and your brand. So to a certain extent, it also gives your seller confidence in you. Is it installed quickly? Does it look professional? That's the first impressions that the new client seller is going to have of you as the sign. And once it sells, then it shows the neighborhood that you're successful in that area. And then you just repeat this over and over, reinforcing that, you've got a sold sign or a for sale sign going up. Next thing you know, it's a sold sign. And that's why some realtors will farm certain neighborhoods. So number 2, use and be familiar with the company and brokerage style guides. Alex and Maxwell have a great one. It's very detailed. Any good brokerage will have some style guides. So that'll tell you how to use the logo, spacing, colors, backgrounds, fonts as well. And also you should be familiar with the RECA requirements for the identification of the brokerage, etc. Number 3, have fun. I think the most successful realtors I've seen out there, especially when you look on social media, is the ones that are having fun doing it. They're creating their own brand. In addition to the requirements for the branding, you can use pictures for social media with the clients and the signage. I've seen some people use that very well. You can have custom signs that say sold and another happy seller, that sort of thing. Slogans can also help. Just kind of that hook to get people to remember you. Number 4 is don't settle. People do notice cheap. We've all seen the $1 million house with generic or beat up signage, even just subconsciously. It cheapens the property, cheapens the seller and your brand. It could only be the difference of a few dollars to get something custom and clean. Number 5, keep it short and sweet. No one wants to read a book on your sign. Most realtors understand this. I get this more with the commercial clients that want to tell everything they sell and their different specials and stuff. But just keep it simple. People are driving by and they just want to remember your name. Even the phone number is not as relevant anymore. Okay, number 6, contrast and colors. So keeping in mind that you do have the style guide and the guidelines there for colors. If you do your own branding, you can have very different colors and you could have different promotions. Contrast is one thing that I see abused and not used properly over and over. For example, yellow lettering on a white background, it looks fine on your computer screen, but you put that on a sign out in the elements, different lighting conditions, and people driving by at 60 kilometers an hour or whatever, it's got to be more visible. So yellow and white, not a good contrast. And same with blue and black. Again, it looks great on the screen, but once you put it out on the street, it just kind of turns into one big blur. Okay, number 7, pictures. People do business with people. So if you're comfortable, get a good headshot and use it on your signs. Use it everywhere. And your placement, people like to look in the direction that the person is facing on the signage. So face it towards where you want people to look. On our sample sign here, you can see Sign Squatch. He's looking in towards the sign. So you are looking at the content of the sign, and you could even have that facing towards the property as well. So people love to see faces. And you can see this, a good example is when you have social media, you post a picture yourself, as long as you're not posting a picture yourself every day. When you post a picture yourself or even other people, you get way more likes than you do if you're just taking a picture of a house. And yeah, that's pretty much it for number 7. Just speeding through this. Do you have any questions or anything, Alex?
Nope, you're all good so far. Keep up the great work.
Okay, thanks. All right, number 8. Find a good sign provider you trust. And this isn't saying it's necessarily me, but whoever you find, get someone you can trust, and then you can focus on helping your clients. You don't have to worry about the signage. Okay. And next, I'd like to go into a bit on the sign hardware. There we go. There's some pictures. So on the far left, sort of the background kind of gets a little distracting, but the left is one of our signs. This is a sample with our flip topper, which you can ask me about. It's something that only we do. It says inquire now, and then you can flip it and it says sold. No more nasty stickers. On the right hand side of that sign, you can also see I have what I call a fin. That can be either parallel or perpendicular to the signpost. That's something new. If you want something that no one else is doing, ask me about that. At the bottom there, you can see that we have, that's just kind of to show the cross section of our signs. So you can see the arm is the same size as what most signs out there are using for a post. And then the post itself is a 4-inch by 4-inch. Some people that have their own signs, some realtors that do their own signage, which is crazy, but some of I think they just like control of having good signage. It's a 4-inch by 4-inch. Not many people are using that. And then you can see in the upper right, that's our stakes. I just wanted to give you a little background. I mean, it's kind of, you're not going to see these, but what you will see is if your sign is leaning or not. The one on the right is the off the shelf. I think it's made in China probably. That's what a lot of people are using. It's very similar to what the other sign companies are using as well. It's two points in the ground hopefully they go into soil and not just sitting in the ice and snow. But ours on the left, it's a custom anchoring solution. It's taken me 3 years of testing and revisions. It looks fairly simple, but there's little tweaks and things that I've had to do. This will ensure that you have a solid anchor in tough soil conditions in Edmonton. In January, for example, especially on the new builds where there's a lot of clay, it's like concrete. So that has to go into the concrete. I think it's 16 inches into the ground, and it holds it even through the spring. Although it is a little tricky in the spring when things thaw, it actually turns to about a pudding. It's like pudding texture, consistency. So that's the worst. But ours handles it way better than the others. We have 3 times the surface area of the other signage out there for the point that goes in the ground. So what that means is that you have no lean. That's what it comes down to. In the lower right, you can also see I've obscured the name to hide the innocent. That was about a month and a half ago. There was a big windstorm. I saw at least 2 or 3 of those other signs out there folded over like that. So that's just another reason. I mean, I only had, during that windstorm, I had maybe 2 signs I had to go and fix, but it wasn't because of the post. It was actually the little hangers that go at the bottom, the zip ties that we use, pretty decent quality, but the wind was just too much for a couple of them. So that's the weak point right now, but I'm actually working on that too. And then the signposts and arms, again, they're double thickness. You notice there's finishing caps on them. It's not an open space. It looks finished. It's something that's nice that you can see outside of your house that you're selling and be proud of. And it's not just, a garbagey looking sign. What that means is that you get a professional, sturdy appearance, and that also reinforces your brand. Okay, on to the next one here. Okay, sign booking. Still okay? No questions?
Nope, keep going. I'll save them all for the end. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, we'll have time. So booking software, and this might answer some of them too. So I'm just going to cancel out of here. Now, can you see the ordering screen? Okay. So this is the screen. This is a sample account that I have. This is what you see when you log in to book a sign or any services. On the left-hand side, you've got your menu bar, home. We're at home right now. I'll just go down the left side first, and then I'll show you how to order a sign. You've got staff users. So you have the ability to set up different people in your organizations. You might have an admin assistant or something that just books the signs. They're not a realtor. You can have anyone set up in different roles. It's actually more than most realtors really need. Most will book their own signs, but for those that don't, you can have other people assigned. Then you've got current installs. So this will show all the installs that you've already had and you've got currently up. You've got the status, who it was, the address, the status, when it was installed, who installed it. And then on the right-hand side, there's actually photo. I don't have them on these because these are just samples, but you can see what every sign looked like when it went up. In fact, you get an email the minute that sign goes out, you get a notification. And you can even click on the map. You can see all your listings in the area. You can go to satellite view. You can zoom in. It's all Google integrated. Okay, so service orders. That is where you can get a sign serviced. You could add a panel to an existing sign. You could change something on it. Very easy. I'll show you how you do that. You've got invoice history. Of course, we have nothing here on the sample, but you can see how much you paid, what the taxes are, the invoice date, all that stuff. Your inventory, so that's your sign inventory. You can see where every sign is that you own or have access to. Yeah, this one I've created a sample Maxwell. You can see that some of these, you've got on this one, 5 of 7 are available, 3 of 6 of those ones. And you can even click through and view all items to see where they're located and which property. We also have the ability to do lockbox inventory. I don't know if you guys would be using that. You have your own system. Generic inventory. You can even add things for open houses. You could add sandwich boards. You could add bottled water. You could add, pull up banner stands for trade shows. All that stuff can be tracked in inventory. And then we've got terms and pricing. So when you first get signed up, you have to read this and skim it. But the main thing is here, it has the pricing that you'll be set up for. Now I am prepared to offer Maxwell Devonshire the gold package, which means $36 rentals. And when I say that, the other guys, they like to quote sign up, sign down, whatever. I've got a few different charges here. I just quote it as a rental, and or a service. You need a sign for a property, it's $36. And that includes putting it up, taking it down, storing your signs, all that stuff. Okay. Now, if we go back home, we have a new sign install. Quick and easy. I've got a sample address here. So just enter it in. This is one of your guys' listings. And the reason I'm picking it is because it's a rural property. So I'm going to show you 231. And you can see it fills it all in. So it's a valid address. That should be it there. And we are going to go to map. And, oh, that's the map. Sorry, just one sec. Go back here. I actually want to go into edit. So that's going to show you the property in Google again. You can go into satellite view, and I can zoom in. Oh, I have to go control. Oh, Google is asking me things. Okay, so you can see where the property is. You can see the service road there. For this one, you just grab it, say I want the sign right about there. And you can enter any additional info at the bottom. For example, if you have 2 signs that you want out, or if there's something you need to watch for. So we'll just click done there. You can enter, sorry, I'm just gonna take a drink. You can enter the unit or apartment number if there's a condo. Listing ID comes in handy, especially if there's any issues when the installer's out there. They can call into the office or call you and say, it's this listing, I'm having trouble finding it or whatever. Due date, you just need a couple of days advance notice currently. Occupant name and first name and last is helpful too. If you're out at the property, then there's an issue and you just knock on the door and say, hey, do you mind if I put the sign right here? If needed, that's handy. You can do a dual install, and that's just going to give you the ability to have 2 of the same sign. So then when you go to put the sign together, this is the beauty of it. You add from your inventory. I'm just going to select maybe this one here, phone number on top. You add your main panel, boom. And if you want a bottom hanger or something like that, done. That's your sign. That easy. And then you just on the left hand side and towards the bottom, You can enter some notes. You want to have, make sure you identify if there's underground sprinklers or dog fence, or if there's restricted gate access or a code or anything like that. And then you can also book, you can do a few other things here. I've got it set up. I've got a referral network. So if you need any of these other services for the property, you have an easy way just to ask me if I can connect you. Then at the bottom, you actually have the price that it's going to be. And for this one, the post install, they're set up for, I think it's the silver package, 38. You've got your mileage fee, because this one is rural. So that one does have a mileage fee based on the how far out it is, based on the postal code, and then your taxes. It's all in there. And you can also make that your favorite sign, so that next time you go to book a sign, you just click on use favorite and it's done. You can confirm that order. I don't have payment in here right now, but that will be added soon. So that's how easy it is to order a sign. I'm just going to cancel out of there. Sign removal, super easy. Once it comes up, there we are. So these are the 3 signs we've got installed right now. You just click on one of them, click remove, and it's ordered. They'll ask you for the date that you want it down as well, your due date. And last one is the other service. So you can add a panel or any of these other services. And again, it shows you the price. So that's it for Sign Tracker software. Again, that's exclusive to us. We have the exclusive license for the Edmonton area. No one else is going to have this. It's made by a company that just does the software for booking real estate signs. It's a real market in North America. And they've been doing it for about 13 years with continual feedback from all of the sign companies, and they're making revisions all the time, making it way better. Okay, so now, no, not there. I gotta find my tab. That. Okay, so that's it for everything I have. If there's any questions, now would be a good time. And don't forget, you deserve the best. Your clients deserve the best as well. Any questions, Alex?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Darren. I'm going to leave this up, so I'll just look like a talking behind the scenes type person right now,
Okay.
so that everyone has the opportunity to take down your information. But I saw on your bottom there on the last slide, it said open houses.
Yeah.
Can you describe that a little bit more?
So this is a new service. I'm testing the market with it right now. I do a lot of different types of signs with the real estate signs and the other side of things. If you have an open house, I can set it up so that you can order signage for that. So if you've got sandwich boards, we can first make the sandwich boards for you. We can store them for you. And then when you have an open house, we just need to know the date, and we'll go out that morning, set up the signs, either with your direction on where they need to go, or we can suggest good locations in the nearby area and have them down by the end of the weekend as well. And again, store them. Any other kinds of signs that are related, or like I said, even trade show materials and stuff like that, we can provide all of that.
Cool. And then I'm assuming the person putting them up and taking them down knows the current bylaws of whichever community they're putting them up in, and they stay on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Edmonton's pretty simple, but yeah, we would have to, if it was Beaumont or something like that, we would just have to confirm those things ahead of time.
Okay. The other question that we had come in is, so you just charge an installation fee, which is fantastic, but do the agents have to pre-buy their signs, or are there generic ones made then and then stickers kind of just go over top of them?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the stickers. We'd have to talk about that one. The way it's set up right now, and with the agents I have right now, They buy their own signs. They're theirs, and I take care of them. They're only used for their listings. They're custom. Like I said, people notice when you've got a sticker on your sign. To me, when I see a sticker on a sign, I think, well, does that mean they could be gone the next day? Like, why are they using generic beat up panels? And I understand it is cheaper to go with the way the other companies are doing it, where they stock, they'll stock your Maxwell ones, and things will change in the design. They'll get faded. You might have an older looking one. um, it's up to you whichever way you want to go. I think it's the best image to have custom signage, and we can talk about pricing and stuff like that. Of course, with the higher volumes, I can do better pricing. But there's slick looking signs, and you can get custom finishes and other branding on it that you just can't get with stickers.
Okay. And then what areas do you service?
So I'm servicing Edmonton area, including Spruce Grove, Stony Plain, Beaumont, Leduc, Fort Saskatchewan, Sherwood Park, like everything close by. If it's a little further out, there is more of a mileage fee, but those communities, for the most part, are no extra charge for those communities.
Okay. And then what's the best way for someone to get a hold of you?
My email.
Setting up their own signs.
Yeah, my email, darren@edmsigns.ca. Send me a quick email, and then we can have a conversation, because I want to make sure that we set things up properly for what you're looking for. If you're getting signs made, we need to get some details on that as well.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions that were in the chat. So thank you so much, Darryn, for joining us today. It is definitely informative, and I'm sure you'll have some people kind of reaching out and kind of going from there. So any last words before we say au revoir?
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yes. I have green on somewhere, I promise you.
I don't have any green.
I promise you. Yes, yes. The blue
No, that's good.
Look green. Yes, yes.
But yeah, give me a call anytime. I'm happy to chat, even if you just want to run some ideas by me. I'm more about helping realtors, and it's not about making a buck, really. I just want to give you guys what you deserve.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Darryn. It was a pleasure meeting you again. And for those that don't know, within the brokerage, Darryn is the one that did all of our lock boxes. So for everyone that has commented about how good they look, this is your guy right there for why.
Awesome.
So thank you so much. See you later, guys.
Thanks a lot.